Asha stood at the edge of her family's farmland, watching the horizon swallow the last remnants of sunlight. The day had been long and arduous, but it was the kind of labor she was used to, sowing seeds, tending to the crops, and ensuring the cattle were fed. However, tonight felt different, heavier. A storm was brewing, not just in the sky, but within her heart. Her father had passed away unexpectedly, leaving Asha, her mother, and her younger siblings to fend for themselves. The grief weighed down on her like a millstone, threatening to crush her under its relentless pressure. In the darkness, she whispered the proverb her father used to tell her: "When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind." It was a reminder that despite the loss, she had a foundation, the teachings and love her father had instilled in her. But as the night wore on, the challenges began to mount. The crops needed harvesting, the debts were piling up, and the villagers, though kind, could only offer so much help. Asha's world seemed to be crumbling, and she could only hope that her roots were strong enough to withstand the storm that was about to hit. The days blurred into one another, each filled with backbreaking work and little progress. Asha rose before dawn and collapsed into bed well after dark. The night seemed endless, as if the sun had forsaken her and her family. "Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors," her mother often reminded her. But Asha felt like she was sinking, unable to navigate the turbulent waters of their newfound reality. The bills were overwhelming, and the once thriving farmland was now barely producing enough to sustain them. One evening, after another failed attempt to secure a loan from the local cooperative, Asha sat under the old baobab tree, the village's silent witness to generations of struggles and triumphs. She thought about the proverb and how it might apply to her life. Was she becoming a skillful sailor, or was she merely being battered by the storms of misfortune? She clenched her fists, determined to keep fighting. If the sea wanted a battle, she would give it one. But even as she vowed to persevere, the weight of her burden seemed insurmountable. Every step forward felt like a stumble backward, and she began to wonder if dawn would ever come. One morning, as Asha trudged to the village market to sell what little produce she had managed to harvest, she overheard a conversation about a new agricultural initiative. The government was offering grants and training for young farmers to help improve their yield and introduce sustainable farming practices. For the first time in months, Asha felt a spark of hope. She approached the village headman to inquire about the program. "A single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows," he said, encouraging her to apply. The paperwork was daunting, but with her mother's help, she managed to submit her application. The waiting period was agonizing, but the knowledge that there was a possibility for change buoyed Asha's spirits. She started making small improvements to the farm with what little resources they had, hopeful that better days were on the horizon. The idea that a single opportunity could transform their fortunes kept her going, even when exhaustion and doubt crept in. Weeks later, Asha received the letter that changed everything. Her application had been approved, and she was to attend a training session in the nearby town. The grant would provide seeds, tools, and access to modern farming techniques. It was the lifeline she had been praying for. No matter how long the winter, spring is sure to follow, she whispered to herself as she packed her bags for the trip. The training was intensive, but Asha soaked up every bit of knowledge like a parched plant receiving rain. She returned home armed with new strategies and a renewed sense of purpose. Implementing what she had learned was not easy, but the results were almost immediate. The farm began to thrive once more, and with each passing day, Asha's confidence grew. She was no longer just surviving. She was beginning to see a future filled with promise and potential. As the farm flourished, Asha found herself in a position to help others in the village. She organized community meetings to share her knowledge and resources, ensuring that no family would have to endure what hers had gone through alone. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, but the one most responsive to change, she told her fellow villagers. Adaptability had been her saving grace, and she wanted others to understand the power of learning and evolving. Her efforts did not go unnoticed. The village began to transform, with new crops, better yields, and a renewed sense of community. Asha's journey from despair to hope became a beacon for others, proving that with resilience and support, even the darkest nights could give way to the brightest dawns. Standing on the same farmland where her journey began, Asha reflected on the long night she had endured. The pain, the struggles, and the endless work had all been worth it. She had emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. After the rain, the sun will shine. For every problem, there is a solution, and the soul's indefatigable will to survive is what guides us through the night to the dawn, she thought, watching the sun rise over the now thriving fields. Her story was a testament to the power of hope and perseverance. Asha knew that life would continue to present challenges, but she also knew that she had the strength to overcome them. The dawn had broken, and a new day full of opportunities and hope lay before her. Asha's journey teaches us that hardship is inevitable, but so is hope. The night may be long, but the dawn always comes. Each challenge we face is an opportunity to grow, learn, and become stronger. Just as Asha adapted and thrived, we too can find ways to navigate our struggles. Remember the proverbs that guided Asha. When the roots are deep, there is no reason to fear the wind, and no matter how long the winter, spring is sure to follow. These timeless truths remind us that perseverance, adaptability, and community support are key to overcoming adversity. No matter what darkness you face, know that you have the power to find the light. Keep pushing forward and trust that better days are ahead. You are stronger than you think, and every small step you take brings you closer to the dawn.